Bitcoin's recent bull run broke through its all-time high of $70,000, and with huge buzzwords like Bitcoin ETF, SEC approval, and crypto finally getting regulated being thrown around, chances are you're just as confused as everyone else. So in today's video, we're going to look at number 1, what a Bitcoin ETF even is, number 2, how the SEC approval may skyrocket taxes and regulation in crypto, and finally, what strategy you can use to legally pay zero tax on all your crypto earnings. Now, in the simplest of terms, a Bitcoin ETF or a Bitcoin exchange traded fund is a type of fund that tracks the price of Bitcoin and gives an investor exposure to Bitcoin without actually having to buy any Bitcoin themselves. Basically, an investing firm or a brokerage buys Bitcoin and creates a fund with that Bitcoin as an asset. Investors can then buy shares of the fund and profit whenever Bitcoin prices go up. So far, this has invited a huge amount of capital into Bitcoin, and as of the making of this video, the price of Bitcoin has increased nearly 56% since the ETF approval. There are even reports that BlackRock and the government investment fund of Japan are looking into investing in Bitcoin. Now, what does this mean for the crypto space, and should you invest? First of all, the SEC approval of ETFs will result in institutional capital making its way into Bitcoin. However, other than increased capital, the SEC approval is going to result in increased regulatory oversight in crypto and possibly even higher taxes on crypto gains. In their recent statement talking about the approval of Bitcoin ETFs, the SEC mentioned how the vast majority of crypto assets are non-compliant with federal securities and will now be monitored extremely closely. Just yesterday, I read a report by the SEC on their 2025 budget and how they plan to increase regulations and oversight of crypto assets. We've also seen the SEC's crackdown on crypto exchanges such as Gemini, and with the IRS now also talking about how your crypto income is going to be taxed and how brokers should be required to report sales and exchanges of digital assets to the IRS. It looks like tough times are ahead for the crypto space. The Bitcoin ETF approval might be the first step in mass adoption of crypto, but it's also the beginning of the SEC and the IRS trying to add regulations and taxes to crypto. Now, even if there are no new taxes, as a US citizen, you're still liable to pay a huge capital gains tax on any money you make via crypto. US citizens are liable to pay up to 37% capital gains tax on any short-term gains, which means that more than 1/3 of the money you make is going to the government in taxes. Think about it. If you make $100,000 from crypto, you're going to lose almost $40,000 of your money just like that. Now, instead of giving away nearly 40% of your hard-earned money to your government and having to face intense upcoming SEC and IRS regulations, what I recommend as a tax attorney to my clients is to get a second citizenship or residency, more specifically, a residency or citizenship by investment program. It is important to note that US citizens are taxed globally. So if you're a US citizen, unless you renounce your citizenship, you're going to have to pay taxes no matter where you go. You can also check out my recent video on US taxes where I explain this in detail. Citizenship by investment or residency by investment programs offer a fast-track route to obtaining a second citizenship or residency in exchange for either a significant donation or a real estate investment in a particular country. Generally, these programs start from $100,000 and in return, you get citizenship to a country that has zero income tax, zero wealth and inheritance taxes, and best of all, zero capital gains tax. $100,000 might sound like a lot, but in the long run, this investment is more than worth it. You also get access to offshore banking, a strong passport that gives you visa-free access to pretty much any country, exposure to rich and vibrant cultures, and as a cherry on top, no one will take 40% of your money away from you. So which countries should you be considering when choosing a second citizenship or residency? Portugal is a great option for crypto traders and offers 0% capital gains tax on crypto assets held for more than a year. And if you eventually become a citizen, you also get visa-free access to 191 countries, including the United Kingdom and the US. Another popular destination for crypto investors is Georgia, which also offers zero capital gains tax on any crypto earnings. Both Portugal and Georgia come with high standards of living, and you can get a residency permit in these countries for anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000. One small caveat here is that both Portugal and Georgia are going to charge you income tax on your non-crypto assets, and depending on the country and amount of money you're making, this tax can go up to a shocking 48%. Now, if you're looking for something that's completely tax-free, then look no further than the Caribbean, where you can actually become a citizen in certain countries. Caribbean British Commonwealth countries such as Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and even St. Lucia have zero income, zero capital gains, zero inheritance, and zero personal wealth tax. There are no taxes in these countries on both your crypto and non-crypto assets. Additionally, you also get excellent international mobility once you obtain citizenship of these countries. The entire process is fully remote, and you get citizenship in as little as 6 months after investing as little as $100,000 into the country's economic development fund. Another excellent tax-friendly option for crypto investors is Malta. Malta, also called the blockchain island, is a beautiful country with well-developed business infrastructure and high standards of living. The blockchain island offers a 0% capital gains tax on long-term crypto holdings, and as a result, it's one of the best countries you can get into for residency as a crypto investor. You can also become a permanent resident in the country through their Malta Residence Permanent program. Now, before you dive headfirst into Malta, let's look at another option. By far, the best option for obtaining a foreign residency, this place has zero income tax and zero capital gains tax, while at the same time offers some of the highest standards of living in the world, along with some of the lowest, if not the least crime rates. I'm talking about the UAE and Dubai specifically. In my experience with clients who are crypto investors, the UAE is consistently the best option as it offers zero income tax, zero capital gains tax, and zero withholding tax. Other than a recently introduced 9% corporate tax, which doesn't necessarily apply to individual investors, there's practically no tax that you have to pay in the UAE. It's important to keep in mind, however, that if you're running a crypto business such as a Bitcoin mining company or maybe a trading firm, you're going to be liable to pay that 9% corporate tax if your annual profits are above 100,000 US dollars. It's still lower than parts of the West, such as the UK and the US, where federal income corporate tax is at 21%. There are also some tax reliefs and exemptions available, and this is something my firm specializes in helping with. Dubai also offers the state-of-the-art healthcare facilities and exceptionally beautiful beaches. If you thought Miami beaches were good during the summer, just wait until you see Dubai's Jumeirah Beach. Now, you can get all of this and more as long as you're willing to register a company in Dubai in as little as a few days, or buy a property worth over 2 million Emirati dirhams, roughly 500,000 US dollars. Once you've bought such property, the 10-year golden visa is yours, and which takes as little as 2 weeks to obtain if you know what you're doing. Luckily for you, this is where we step in. My firm partners with entrepreneurs and investors to help them save their income and move to tax-friendly countries. We handle everything from the long and time-consuming paperwork to complicated corporate restructuring. If you'd like help in moving your business to Dubai or obtaining a second citizenship or residency in any of the other countries that I've mentioned, we're here to help. You can book a call with me or check out my website in the description below. Thanks for watching.